Well, how's it going, everybody? It has been a while since I've done a review unboxing type video on the channel, and I just picked up myself a new pair of boots, so that's exactly what I'm going to get into today. We're going to hop right into it. These are the Asolo Falcon Evo GV boots that I just picked up. Found them on sale and I knew that I had to get a pair of these. I had looked at them last year. They are pretty awesome right out of the box, and full disclosure, I am not sponsored, and I did take these out of the box already and wear them around the house a whole bunch because I wanted to make sure that they were good before my return window came out. And these things, on the first time that I put them on, they were super comfortable. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any break-in period, which is pretty awesome. They seem really well made, and there's a bunch of specs I'm going to go over in a minute, which we'll kind of talk about why my first impressions are the way that they are. But they seem to be really well built, and I am excited. I believe they're an Italian boot. That doesn't really matter to me, if I'm being honest. I've tried boots from a lot of different places. I know Italy tends to make some pretty good boots, and I do believe these are Italian. What I was looking for in a boot is, there's quite a few things on that list. I want them to be lightweight. These come in at just over a pound a piece. They are ultra lightweight. That's something, you know, as far as hiking goes, I like to have a really light pair of boots on my feet. That's just something that's non-negotiable for me. So when I'm looking for an all-around boot for most of the year, that's what I'm looking for. Top of my list is lightweight. Now, another thing that I look for is durability. These things seem to be built really well. They have a really nice, pretty hard sole on them. They have an upper that is a suede, and then above that is a high tenacity nylon above that, which seems really durable as well. These won't have any issues if a stick hits that. Don't think it's going to be a problem whatsoever. They seem really well built there. Another thing that I'm looking for is waterproof. That's really, really important for an all-around boot when it comes to hunting and scouting. With that said, they do have a Gore-Tex lining, and the suede on the upper here, all water resistant as well. So I assume they're going to be quite waterproof. I can't attest to that yet, but I have no doubt that these are definitely going to be waterproof. They have really good reviews online. Another thing that I'm really looking for is traction. These have the Vibram Mega Grip soles, and they actually have like a self-cleaning lug channel, which is pretty cool. So as you walk, they're supposed to clean themselves out, so you know the mud doesn't get stuck in there, or snow. And I've never really seen a pair of boots that they work that well, but if they work at all, I guess it's better than nothing. So but the lugs are pretty aggressive on here, so I think it's going to be pretty good on just about any terrain that I'm going to throw at it. A couple of other things that I look for in a boot is uninsulated. These boots are uninsulated. Something that I've never really understood is people put a lot of focus on boots, but not on their socks. And I know we do a lot of layering on the rest of our body. And quite frankly, our hands and feet are probably the most important parts of our body to keep safe and warm when we're out in the outdoors. So I actually tend to layer my socks. In the summertime, I'll wear a lightweight merino sock for the most part. But once it comes into the hunting season, I have no problem. I'll put on sometimes a light cotton sock and then a light merino sock. And as the temperatures drop, I'll wear a light merino and then maybe a little bit heavier sock, depending on how cold the temperature is. Probably another merino, or even a heavier merino sock as well, if I can, as long as I can fit it in there. It still needs to stay comfortable, but uninsulated I think is really important. One thing, you know, if you buy an insulated pair of boots, if it's warm out, well, they're still insulated. You know, an uninsulated pair is going to breathe better, and you can always layer up. So that's just personal preference, but I'm always looking for an uninsulated boot for my best all-around boot for the year. Now, another thing is fitting like an athletic shoe. These are more like a basketball shoe, and I grew up playing basketball, so a lot of the things that I had just mentioned are things I was looking for in a basketball shoe, and that's the most comfortable to me. They are about the same size, about the same height as most basketball shoes, and about the same weight. So if you can find a good all-around boot that hits all of those check boxes like these do, I think they're worth a shot. And like I said, these are my first Asolo boots, but they seem like they're going to be great, and I'm really excited to try them as the season rolls on here. I'll probably get them out there for a lot of spring scouting to start with. We have a ton of snow out there right now, so I'm probably not going to try them until a lot of that snow disappears. But first impressions are strong. I'm really excited. They're not super flexible. They are flexible. There are definitely boots that are more flexible. I'm coming from the Salomon Ultra Mid GTX, which was very similar to this. I would say those are a little bit more flexible, especially in the sole. However, I wanted something that was a little bit less flexible because I do a lot of saddle hunting as well, and I really thought that a little bit of a harder sole was going to help me out there. Time will tell, but I think I was fine with my Salomons, so if these are even a little bit better, I'm not going to have any issues whatsoever as far as that goes and getting foot fatigue from the sole. But they seem to be very well made as well. I know they come with a warranty. I picked these up for $99. I found a flash sale. They typically run closer to up to $280 actually, I believe. Right now, they've been around a while, so you can find them for like $150 to $180. Typically that's what they're going to run right now. But they were a lot more before, and they actually do make this in nubuck leather as well instead of the suede in the nylon. You can get it in leather if you want. It is a little bit more expensive, probably a little bit more durable. One of the reasons I went with the synthetic materials is faster drying typically, so these should dry out faster, especially like during turkey season, those wet mornings walking through the dew and the grass. I want them to be dry for the next day or even that afternoon if I'm going to take a walk. So I personally prefer the synthetic. I know the leather would probably be a little bit more durable, but they're also a little bit more money. So I went with the synthetic. That's a personal preference, and obviously you have to make your own decisions as far as that goes. Primary uses for these for me are going to be, I guess starting. They're an all-around boot, like I had mentioned. 90% of the year, I wear something like this. When it comes to spring scouting, as the snow starts to disappear, I like to get out in the woods and do a lot of scouting. The waterproof is really important at that point, especially because you're still walking through some snow. But I do a lot of spring scouting. Then that will lead right into turkey season, and I will probably wear these every single day of turkey season, with an exception that I'll mention in a minute. Then some summer hiking. These are a hiking boot that I am using for hunting. I don't see any reason. They're kind of made for hiking and backpacking, which is basically the same thing of what we're doing while we're out there hunting. So at least my style. So right into summer hiking, they're going to be really breathable for that. And then leading right into the fall, I'm going to wear them right through turkey season, and probably, I bet all of bow season I'll probably have these on, depending on the temperature. I may layer up on socks, but I probably will have these on. And then even through rifle season, depending on what I'm doing, if the snow gets really deep, I may switch from these, but 90% of the time I will wear something like this. The other 10% of the time I may put on a rubber boot, and that will be for if I have really deep snow or a water crossing that is deep. I am probably going to put on rubber boots for those days. And then the other small percentage of days will be, I have a heavily insulated pair of Rocky hunting boots that if I know I'm going to be sitting in extreme cold, and when I say extreme cold, I'm talking, well below 32 degrees, probably less than 20 degrees. And a lot of times we get a pretty heavy wind chill as well. So if I'm going to be sitting for a lot of hours, I typically will, I'll try to keep it to those. But the other 90% of the time, this is what I'm going to wear for this year. And I am really excited to try them out. So I wouldn't be afraid. Go online, get yourself a pair. I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I got a lot of good videos coming up on the channel, including one about hunting clearance, where I'm going to discuss how you can also save yourself money when it comes to hunting gear.